Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you for being here, sharing your most precious asset with me, and that is your time. Welcome to the Crypto Lifers Show, baby. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you for being here, sharing your most precious asset with me, and that is your time. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Hope you're having a wonderful day out here on this beautiful Monday. I woke up to gains, so I'm drunk on gains, feeling good. Shout out to everybody in the trading group. My name is Sam Price, Crypto Lifer. Welcome to my show. Hope you're having a good day. Thank you for coming on in. Appreciate you more than you would ever know. Without you, there is no show. Let's jump on in. Let's have a blessed day. Thank you so much for being here. Again, gratitude for everything. Number one, dear Lord, thank you for the wins in which we took last night. Thank you for helping me, use a strategy, stay consistent, and make some money. And thank you for every single thing in my life, my kids, my wife, my community. May you all stay blessed. Hunched over here as I'm sitting down in a chair, and I'm got my legs up. But shout out to my wife again with the outfit today. She's been knocking it out the park, I have to admit. All right, everybody, let's take a look at what's happening to BTC. Let's have some fun and let's break it down. Number one, we made gains in the trading group. I have a tweet for an X post, which I think just sums it up the best. All right. So right here to recap the weekend, I gave the world a short for Bitcoin on Sunday morning. If you were watching me, right, on my live stream. On Sunday night, I sold the short for profits, and again on the night live stream, right? So in the morning live stream, I opened the trade. At the night live stream, I closed the trade. I've never seen anybody do it. I don't see anyone. I don't see any other YouTube who opens the trade in the morning, closes it at night in front of the public. Anyway, it's fine, whatever. I'm competing with myself and myself only, and I love all the other people out here. So you're not about competing with others. Really, you're on your own constant battle with yourself every day. That's it. Just be better than you were yesterday, and life should go pretty well. I did both of these publicly and was nice enough to stream twice on a Sunday. For all the traders out there, I'm here for you every day. And then at the end stream, I gave a long that I sold at 5 a.m., updated the trading group. I made money long and short, $3,500 in under 24 hours. And I can teach you how to do this. And this is all on BTCC. Shout out to my partners, BTCC. Love working with them. Love using this exchange. It's amazing. And we got a gold trade ripping. It's up $1,000. And I gave you guys the gold trade. And I told you I'm long gold. This was underwater for a couple days. If you can't hang low, then you can't rip high. All right. And that's a beautiful pump there for gold to the upside. This is not gold. All right. This is Bitcoin. We're going to break down Bitcoin for you today. We're also going to look at the NASDAQ, S&P, gold. We're going to have some fun. This is the Crypto Lifer show, but it became the trading show. Just the trading show. And look, gold is just doing what it's supposed to do. There's a bull flag on the 1 hour time frame. It's breaking out beautifully. That's just a gorgeous trade. All right. You can see shoulder, head, right shoulder, cup with the handle here. The cup and handle, again, everyone thinks the handle has to be a down. It doesn't. It just has to be a handle. Right? A cup's handle just needs to be something you can hold on to here. Like some love handles. You know what I'm saying? Hey. Love handles? What happened? What is it? Are you serious? You heard me say love handles and you came in. That's what it was, right? You heard me say love handles and you thought I was saying... I was making a joke. You knew there was a button. How did you know there was a button undone? Somebody told me. All right, I love you. You want to sit on my lap? Sorry. So gold ripping to the upside. We called it for you. And again, there's the strategy. If you flip this to the 21-day moving average, we're going to show you all that. But if you just learn with me, you'll see what I'm teaching you is real. You'll see what I use every single day happens. And you'll be like, wow. I actually learned something from somebody on YouTube, because I used to watch hundreds of YouTubers hours and hours at a time. But I didn't learn nothing, man. And it wasn't their fault. It was just not everybody's an innate teacher, right? Not everybody's great at teaching. People got good information. Not everybody's good at teaching it, right? There's great traders out there it's really hard for them to convey. So we're looking for this to make some type of inverted head and shoulder. And we're oversold here on the 15-minute time frame to the upside, right? Gave you this beautiful short yesterday. I just could tell we were about to collapse. It didn't look good. We double topped below the 200. Again, just flip this upside down. Like we trade long when the 21's above the 200, we get a massive rip. We trade short when the 21's below the 200, we get a massive dump. Understand? This is the same. Look, we get out of trades when we're away from the 21 and the 21's away from the 200 moving average. Right? Bitcoin got too high. Look, I love looking at this, but check it out. Oh, nice little rippage here for Bitcoin. I might miss something, so let's switch it again. But the other day, remember I was talking too much and I missed out on some trades? Let's focus here on BTC. Let's see what's cracking here for Bitcoin. With gold trade ripping, shout out to anyone that took the trade with me. And we just been nailing the silver and the gold trades like you guys have seen it. And I'm already up $3,000 today. That's another $4,500 in 24 hours. If you're making $5,000 a day, bro, you're going to be doing okay. I'm telling you, life is going to get good for you. You make $5,000 a day. All right? I'm telling you. And I've done this so many times in my life. It's insane. Anyway, may God keep it going. I want to stay humble. I don't ever want to look like I'm bragging. I want to stay so humble without God's ability to lead me to TA, lead me to believe in myself, lead me to learn. I just want to make it so clear and perfectly clear that I am nothing without my Lord and Savior, man. And as the teachings of Jesus taught me to pray to the Lord every day, and through Jesus I learned, right? I learned how to have a connection with God as Jesus did. Amen. Continue with the day. So Bitcoin's actually getting a bit of a rip here to the upside now. And honestly, it's in a bit of a flag that could do damage. I don't like trading Mondays. I'll tell you that. So maybe it's just a scalpelino here, but this looks interesting to me. It really does. Like that's a bit of, it was a bull flag. Then it kind of did a sideways diamond, dumped out the diamond, came back to the upside. I'm going to get to the top-down analysis, folks. I know I'm a little all over the place here today, but there's so much knowledge to be had. And I could teach it any which way I see it. So I just got to hone in on the direction in which I want to show you. But see, like that's the model now. You're above the 200, touching the 21. And it's a bit of a cup and handle, is it not? There's the cup. There's the handle. That technically, a cup and handle could break out. Nice move here. Back up to liquidity. 68,250, at least to this resistance here. 67,500, which is, psychological. People like the 500s. So, interesting. And let's get that shot of ginger cooking. I take the shot of ginger on the live stream to get you going, to get you motivated. It's in glass. You see what I'm saying? Don't buy that plastic. That hits hard. I like that. Yeah. Ginger gives you vitality, cleanses you. You know what I mean? You can just taste its vibrance. You can taste what it's doing for you. You can feel the energy. I love ginger, turmeric. I'm taking shots of that stuff almost every day. People say, how do you stay so healthy, lifer? I drink orange juice, even though a lot of people claim orange juice is bad for you. I don't hear it. I've been doing it for a long time. So I drink OJ. They say it's a sugar bomb. It's like glucose, this and that. It also has so many benefits for the brain that you wouldn't believe. Anyway, I just don't want to miss out on a trade here while I'm yapping. Like happened the other day. It was like one of the most beautiful trades. It is Monday, though. I remember when someone said, how many times did the model play out? Well, like here it was right here. Like it's perfect entry style. Like my model just is sick. Like I don't understand why there's another, you know what I mean? I'm pompous about my model. I'm rude about it. I'm braggadocious about it. I spent like 20 years perfecting it. And it works out so well that I'm just like, dang. Like, because you know what I love about my model is I will, disappear off the earth, like move on, right? As a human, I won't live forever. Even if there's like longevity and I get to be 200 years old, which is possible. I believe all that stuff is possible. But my idea is eventually, right, somehow, some way, or maybe not. Maybe I get to live forever on earth. You never know. We don't know what's going to happen here, but that's not really I don't want to get into that, right? That can get into blasphemy. And for me, whatever God has planned for my life, I may submit. But this is it. The idea is this. This plays out so beautifully well that when I'm gone, people are going to be like, man, that's the Sammy special right there. The Sam Price, And it's that 21 above the 200 and that 1 minute time frame. It's about the timing. So for me, it's about knowing when to and what to trade. Okay? Like you got to know the asset. Like we know Bitcoin we know when Bitcoin's getting volatile, like when it gets dumped hard, it can pump hard. Right? It's an elastic. When you move something down one way, it goes back the other. So once you got that nasty dump yesterday, you were expecting some type of movement whether sideways price action to a continuation dump, or we got the movement back to the upside. I teach my students and everyone that watches my channel that we need to wait for the first thing that really happens is you get above the 5-second 200 moving average. Then you get above the 30-second, then the 1 minute, then you get above the 5-minute 200 moving average. You know, if you miss the 1 minute, again, this time you didn't get a chance to get to the 5. We're still playing on the 5 right now, right? So the 1 minute was the ticket last night to really long. I didn't use the one, you know, so here's the coolest thing about my strategy now. It's so cool. It's baked in. When I mean baked in, it means there's two things in one and I can do whatever I want or whatever I desire. Whatever I desire. Want is a lack word. When you use want, you're telling the universe you don't have something and you're likely not to get it back. It's just like, oh, I want to be a great trader. I want to be a good trader. That means you're saying, I'm not a good trader. I wish I could be. And you're basically telling the universe, like, you're basically going to continue to be a bad trader. It's weird. I can't explain it. So what do you say? You say, I am a good trader. I am someone that can complete the mission. I am someone that can have proper risk management. I am a trader that wins. I am speaking I ams, not an I wants and I wills and I mights. You know, I am this, I am that, I am powerful, I am strong, right? I am genius at what I do. Amen, right? Build yourself up every single day. Talk positively to yourself every single moment you can. You have 16 hours in a day. If you got 8 hours of good sleep, 6 to 8 hours, so you got 16 to 18 hours in a day. How much of that time have you spent saying anything negative to yourself? How much? Don't do it. Don't do it today. Promise me today that when you catch yourself saying something negative to yourself, you say no. That's not me. That's not right. That's programmed subconscious that I'm throwing away. I'm not going that way. I'm raising the roof. I'm changing the way I feel about myself in my life. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it, right? This is important. This is as important as your trades. People are saying he's off topic. No, he's not. This is just as important as your trades, your mentality. If you can't keep a positive mentality, if you can't stay on track, you're going to have trouble keeping a positive portfolio. Keeping a consistent basis with your trades. Yes, I lose. You saw me lose last week. I lost 4 times on the live stream last week, I remember correctly. Twice on the Wednesday and twice on Friday, I think it was. But the losses amassed to like $800, right? I kept them small. I wasn't, I didn't bet the farm. I knew price action was weak, so I didn't go too hard. Last night, that short made me told me I could go a little harder than normal, and so did, and then the long too as well. So if we're bullish, see, the same thing can apply here. I can wait for us to get above the 200 moving average on the 1 minute, or not trade at all, right? I'll move this to the right side here so I can see it, and I'll keep that cooking. Let me get into the chat. Shout out to all the beautiful people here. Shout out to John Shanks never misses a stream. My man's on point. Probably working right now with the radio or, with it on like a speaker or something. Because that guy's grinding. Can you please look at BNB? Thanks for everything. Yeah. Buy crypto regular. This ain't the place for you. We vibe way too high for you. Yeah, I don't even know. I don't even listen. I don't see low vibration. It doesn't exist to me. We on the news, baby. You know what I mean? We on the news, baby. Straight up. And that ain't some AI Photoshop, So interesting, right? That's upside down. Of course. So anyway, let's get back to brass tacks here. Looks to me when I'm seeing just right now, right off the bat, just so everyone knows where I stand, is a kind of looks like a bear flag that's outside of the parameters right now. And then when I look at a 4-hour, I look at a bearish retest. No problem with opening up a short here and putting a stop back inside the pattern. You see? You're just trading the retest of this trend line. And you say, well, where are we going to go? Well, we're likely going to go the length of this pole here. That's the measured move. I don't know. I just got so in tune with the algorithmic measured move, right? That takes you to 50,000. Is that for sure? It might be, you could say this could be the measured move too. This pole here could give us to the first, I keep getting this $55,000 area. I could be wrong, but right now I'm seeing a bearish retest. We should have scooted up to the 200. If this keeps going sideways, the 200 will come and smother us down for more downside. Okay? Sammy, I'm saying hello for the trees of the Congo. Vegas, I love you, man. Are you swinging? The real you could feel. Shout out to Jamal Antonio, the go to Sarasota over here. This is a fake out. I don't know which way. A fake out to the downside? You mean a bear trap? Or a bull trap? Surrender yourself to God. Amen. Amen. Submit. Just submit that you are not bigger than it. Then God's grace, the grace will carry you. I spilled all over myself, as you can see. Ruined a beautiful shirt. That's okay. It happens, man, when you're like handicapped right now. I'm drinking bone broth and collagen. I don't mean to be rude. So sorry if it seems as such. But I'm doing the best I can to get myself back to basics. I have a ruptured Achilles right now. That's why I'm in a sit-down chair. I do have a massager on right now that's massaging my back. And I tell you what, man, that's changing the game right now. It really is. And it also vents, so it blows air on my it's really nice. I've been talking about the chair too much, so sorry, but I love the chair. The H-Bada. The H-Bada, baby. H-B-A-D-A. The X7. I don't know, I'm not selling the chair to anybody. It's crazy, right? It sounds like I'm selling the chair. To me, I see a bearish retest of this trend line. I mean, that's what it looks like to Mizzy. Some say, no, it's just a falling wedge like so. It's going to bounce back to the top of the channel. It's inside of a parallel channel here, but it's a downtrend. Either way, it looks more bearish than bullish to me at the present moment in time, right? So as we said before, just the monthly has to close at tweezer bottom. Otherwise, I see it going lower. If you're just jumping on in, I do a top-down analysis. I just want to reset my brain. 2-week chart, same idea here. We came into chop. We're bouncing. You want to see us bounce. We got to get a green candle next to a red one. So once I realized this one day, I watched every reversal on every asset in the world, and I said, you got to get a green next to a red one. I said, why was I doing anything like crazy, like too different? Like I said, man, what? It's weird. Once you start, after 20 years of trading, you see things so clear, and you're like, why didn't I see it that clear before? You know what I'm saying? You're like, what happened? How come I can see it? Like, I wish, why couldn't I have seen this like I saw it before, you know what I mean, the last time? So, remember, a lot of people say a lot of things on the internet, right? But what we love about this channel is we do it all here live, and then we extend that education into the trading group. To me, like, I see this as a bear flag headed lower to 44,000. That could take 5, 6, 7 weeks sideways and then 4 to 5 weeks dumpage, right? So this could be a 9 to 10 week process. This one was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That was a 7-week process, right? From once we kind of edged off from the low. So I see something similar here for Bitcoin. Not guaranteeing it at all, but I do see something similar. Unless you know what I mean? So either you're making a bear flag or you're going to do an inverted head and shoulder. To me, there's really no in between. Like, this is the only, you get a reversal pattern or you get a continuation pattern. That's how TA works. Here's a reversal pattern. You made a head and shoulder. It's a reversal pattern. You reverse back down. That also still has an incomplete measured move, right? Somewhere down to like the 2-week 200 moving average, which gets you somewhere at about 46, somewhere between 43, 46. And my mind keeps thinking there could be a wick to 38,000, right? So I keep, I keep a few orders open from 35 to 38K. Hopefully they never get filled, but I'd have them open down there just in case. You see what I mean? You never know. You might catch a wick in the middle of the night. Usually the lows are something they hit for literally it'll hit the low for like, I don't know. You know, you can see a wick on the 1 minute candle, so it hit the low for like 30 to 40, 50, 60 seconds. You know, you have a chance like this 59,000, right? It was the low here. We look at the low was 60K evens, 60K evens, which is crazy, right? When you think about it. Sam, God bless your day. Do you see MyX recover? I'll take a look at it. Thank you for the super chat. And if I take a minute to get to it, don't worry. I won't forget. We're going to get to MyX. I appreciate it. So again, I've said this many times, and I said the same thing when we were here. Remember, I just kept drawing this. I said, everyone, we may reverse. I'm looking for the reversal. I would love to reverse. I said, but we must just assume, because we're in a bear market, that we're going to make a bear flag and continue lower. Right? We said this over and over, and I kept saying, you know, somewhere 65. I said even we could go lower to 58. You know, when you take the whole length here and say, if it's a pretty long pole, $54,000, right? So, and almost like it hasn't completed the measured move yet. We might still just slump for 2 more weeks straight down. You know, I don't see the weekly, you know, slowing down yet. We need a green candle next to, right? So, great for our shorts and great for the volatility. I longed in short. In this, see, look, where were the longs? There was no longs for most people. It was just this wick on the daily. But we took it last night and we were able to, because when you're that exposed on the others, on the short side, and it's crazy. I don't usually buy the short right after I sell the long. You know, and my mind always tells me, why not? Like, go for it. Like, you know what's going down. Because why would you sell the long if you didn't think it was going short? You know what I mean? Like, why would you sell the short if you didn't think it was going back up? Stay in the short. But you sold the short because you were away for the 21 on the 1 hour. So it told me that we'd come revisit the 20. So I'm using the strategies that I've taught, and I still use them. I find new and creative ways to use them every day. Some guy said, you know, you're selling us the same stuff every day. Can you tell us some more new stuff? And I was like, no, like, there is no new stuff. Like, this is it. You know what I mean? But you know what I mean? Like, once you get a style in trading and you're locked in, you're locked in. And if you keep doing it, there might be a few tweaks you could make. Like, there's different things I'm doing. I didn't use candle bodies to trade until really like around Singapore time, like a year and a half ago. I saw probably subconsciously, and there may have been reasons, but I never like stuck to them. Now it hit me one day, like, they can be treacherous if you over risk at the wrong time. You know, there's a weakness. I know the strength or the weaknesses too to my strategies. Like, you got to size up your strategy and say, hey, is there a weakness to it? The weakness to my strategies is I can chase smaller time frame flags. And so what I did is I go big on the beginning of the move when I sell, but I think there's more. I make sure never to risk, you know, I risk a small percent. If I made $5,000 that day, $3,000 that day, I risk $500. Last night I made money on the short, right? I made $2,000 on the short. So I risked 600 for 18. You see what I mean? And when we got pretty dang close to the target, I took the 1,500. So if I would have lost, I still would have been up $1,400, right? So I do that a lot. Like, I'll see what I've won that day, and if I'm gonna go back in, I'm saying, okay. Some say it's conservative. Some say you could make more. Some say, you know, oh well, you made $3,500. But to me, that adds up over time. You know. And then I bought BTC in front of everybody last night when we dipped on the low, and you know what I mean. So the point, you know what I mean? It's I put my money where my mouth is. I bought Bitcoin long term. I showed you how to make money on the short term. And then I never have to think about that money that I made. That $2,000 goes into an asset that over time will prevail better than the dollar over time. Right now, it doesn't look amazing. Right now, nobody knows. Right now, there's a lot of shenanigans going on. I mean, look how beautiful that looks as a bull flag. It looks like it's going to continue to dump, right? You even just extend this, and it looks, you know, looks like it's breaking out already of a bull flag, right? I don't know. Even that would be your measured move there, just this length here. Yeah, it keeps adding up somewhere 54, 55. That one goes to 52. So I see bearishness for Bitcoin. You're overbought on the daily time frame on the stochastics RSI. Look, had you shorted the top stochastics here? Nice 5-day dump. The stochastics at the dotted line here, nice 5-day dump. At the dotted line here. And remember, on my macro analysis video, I talked in depth about the U.S. tether dominance, and we went in tune on it. And remember, this ain't the crypto lifers. This is the crypto lifer show, but man, this became the trader show. Like, you know, we're trading gold right here, up $1,200 right now, like in front. You know what I mean? 1,077, but we're trading gold right here. You know, we don't just trade Bitcoin. And I use the same exact strategies to trade. Look, there's the flag. And we were trading gold back here. I've been calling all this stuff, man. Anyway. And it's not even that hard. You just got to like stick to the simple strategies with moving averages, support and resistance. Look at the VRVP. It teaches you where you're likely going, where your next bigger moves are. Open it up and take a look at liquidity. It'll show you, hey, look, there it is. Look, there's a fall, there's a gap down there from here all the way down to here. And look, where did we fall? We left this gap. There's a gap right here. Look, we fell down right here to the high volume node. It's absolutely amazing. And so then we get into this chunk and we lose this chunk. Boom. Look, that says what? 43,000? Right there, look. Boom. 44, 43K is the next big area of liquidity that we'd have to deal with. Right there, you see it? Where this chunk is. And now we're battling here. So, you know, we could, this is pretty solid. There's a lot of action here. Could hold us down. You know, there is a chance we could bottom out of here. We still are holding the bottom that I did call in the 4-hour time frame. But what a crazy long this would be. They make it hard to hold these longs. So I sold here, right, into this pump, like that top candle. I remember I didn't get the whole move, but I got good enough. And so the bottom was right there. It still is holding. I mean, imagine being in that trade, though, with massive amounts of money and just waiting it out. That's some, like, really hard, you know, you got to be just really disciplined to do that. And you got to be willing to take a massive loss if you want to make massive amounts of money. So you got to get liquidated for like 100,000 to make like, you know, a $500,000 or something. You know, it's just. So you got to perfect these strategies slow and steady. And then every once in a while, when it looks really nice, I take a bigger shot. Right. And I mitigate and I find ways to say, well, if it's not even going my way, I'm out on that one. Like, I don't. You know, I attempt to not take massive losses going for a bigger win, right? That's why I perfect these, like, you know, what I feel like are like somewhat perfect, you know, have to be perfect entries. Like right when it starts to, can I get in right when it starts to pump? Can you get in right before it's, I mean, some people say impossible. And again, I'm always ready for drawdown. But man, those trades are, when you really work at the entry to the point of no return, those trades are amazing. Yeah, so to me, I do see this as a bearish retest. And it does call my name for a short, right? Like right here with the stop above there, and then you just... Only thing, you know, and then my mind's so open mind, I'm like, could it be a slanted, inverted head and shoulder here? This comes down and like turns back up. That's where the smaller time frames come into play, right? So see how we zoomed in from the weekly, the 4-hour, the 8-hour, the daily. So when you look at the daily, it looks bearish. Looks like we've broken, in my mind, like we've broken the trend line here. This was the trend, you broke it. And this is the top trend line, and you're basically breaking down from a bear flag. So like this has to wick all the way back up, and this candle has to close above this tweezer bottom. You know, this where this opened, you gotta close above 66.5. It's 66.461, but for grace, we'll call it 66.500. You got to open back above that key area. So important, right? You got to close back up. Sorry, you got to close back above that key area. You close down here, you just took out two lows. Right? The closings, you know, and the wicks. I mean, but you took out the low. So remember, and I told you that, you know, that I was done with that, with the 4-hour. I went for the 4-hour. Didn't happen, right? So... Bang. So this to me is still bearish. So now that we've identified a bearish daily, we should start to look for ways to enter shorts or something contrary on a smaller time frame, right? So I can see possible inverted, possible cup and handle, but very overbought there too as well on the 1-hour time frame. And then I start to look here at the 15-minute. So seriously, I see two things. Like you would bounce and turn this into some type of consolidative pattern. And we might actually have a chance for whatever reason, you know, because I'm open-minded. I don't know what's going to happen. Like there's a chance this turns into a shoulder, a head and right shoulder, and we break out, right? Just for the day. I'm not even, you know, I usually don't trade Mondays anyway, so it's not, you know, and I technically did because I woke up. We can't hold your hand through everything. You have to want it. We pay TradingView every year. Try some things out. Develop a style. Explore. Fail. Succeed. You can't cheat the grind. Love is love. Amen. Yeah. Everyone wants to press the button or go to some website or, just buy a bot that does everything for them. But nothing's perfect, man. You gotta tend to a bot like you tend to a garden. You see what I mean? It's very, shoulder, head, right shoulder. Can we get this bounce further to the upside? And so, I wouldn't even think of trading this unless we got some type of consolidation. This is high risk on a Monday trying to be the hero. Okay. It could play out once or twice, but every Monday, if you try to be the hero, you'll find over time it'll grind in the countdown. Someone said they love trading Mondays and Fridays as their best days, and I'm like, it just doesn't make mathematical sense to me. You know what I mean? Because I watch the volume, I see the liquidity. But hey, if that's how they feel, that's how they feel. Look at the massage, just comes on when it wants. This is amazing. I'm getting a nice little back massage. It's firm too. It's no joke. Little shiatsu. Dude, the Habata H7, man. I'm going to have to call that company and be a spokesman. This thing is amazing. I bought it when I was down and out. My Achilles heel was hurting. I needed a comfortable chair. And there they were, the Habata X7. Hit my link today. So a chance you got a falling wedge that breaks to the upside if the 15-minute can get a tweezer bottom, which means this candle will close next to that candle. You have 15 seconds, a minute and 15. How do I know that? Right click here, go to labels, go to countdown to bar close. And that way I can find out when every bar is going to close. This closes in 1 minute. And now I can kind of hone in on entries by using when the bar is going to close. So I'm a candle body trader, a candle body guy. I trade candle bodies, right? I trade tweezer tops, tweezer bottoms, engulfers. I look for, dojis. I don't use everything that candle body traders use, but I use the majority of things that matter. I use Fibonacci. I use VRVP. I use patterns. I use support or resistance. I use moving averages, right? But a lot of the stuff I use is subconscious. I'm doing it without even knowing it. And then there's only a few indicators that actually that are actually sticking out to me when I'm actually trading, right? Their trading plan chives with lower volume. I've seen this type of sorcery before. It's insane that. Yeah, money to short them buy. A lot of screen time are good at reading. Yeah. The real you can feel. Sam is saying hello from the trees of the Gang. Sam, you're funny. I'm reading the old comment. Can you elaborate on gold? Is it going to fall? I don't know. So 15-minute is interesting. It's about to close a bullish engulfing candle, which means we could get a bounce here back to the upside on this ferocious Monday. And you'd expect, a short squeeze because that's what they do. Maybe bounce back to the 200 moving average. This would be a nice little move today. Makes me want to possibly take advantage of it. But I'm coming off, some nice wins on Sunday, so I might just relax. If I go to bed tonight without a loss, everything's, you know what I mean? So it was a perfect trading day. Massage is a little too hard. Just going to turn it off for now. It got me going, man. Anyone new? We use the education here that we received from Sam, my master friend, to make the gains up or down, man. Join the 99. Hey, man, do you use order blocks or supply and demand? No, because everyone uses those. And honestly, I do use them because I'm using, if you can see, there's an order block. That's what the VRVP is showing you, man. Right? It's showing you where an order block is. Yeah, but I don't use the word order block. You know what it was? 5-10 years ago, nobody used that stuff. Nobody said order block, I guess. I mean, no one did anything. It was small, right? I guess, you know what? I'm so weird. I'm anti-group. I can't explain it. When I see a bunch of people doing something, I'm always meh. I could do it my way, I don't know. Whatever, I don't know what it is. I got a chip up, I don't, you know what I mean? I'm just being honest with myself, I don't know. So, everyone's I got the order block, the supply shit, I'm I got the supply here. To me, man, look what I did last night. I called it exactly right on the short. I called it exactly right on the long. And the strategies I use, you can reuse over and over again. They're simple to identify. A normal person can see it. Pretty simple. Yeah. So look, I mean, I can't see the candle, right? It's like, it's hidden. What happened there? I'm so confused. I thought the candle was about to close, and it ended up closing red, huh? Wow, like at the last minute, they closed that candle red. It looked green. It was... Wait, I'm confused. Weird. Right? I thought we were about to see a candle close. Yes, we did. I started charting the stocks in the late 80s using graphic paper, Investors Business Day newspaper. That's so cool. You're an OG, bro. Shout out to Twizzler T. I always wonder if we had people like that in the group. And you guys know that this stuff works, man. This stuff works. You think it would be... it feels like voodoo when it starts really playing out. That's when you know you've put in the work, man. You've got it. Yeah, this could bounce back to the top of the range here if we get the bounce. Very oversold 5-minute time frame battling the 200 moving average. Look at that though. Shoulder, head, right shoulder. Wow, when you look at it on the 1 minute, you see kind of shoulder, 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 head. You know, you kind of see complex head and shoulder. Bearish retest of the 200 moving average. Huh. Small time frames having a disagreement. And at the end of the day, you kind of see this too. Like if you really break it down, see a shoulder, head, and shoulder. You see a symmetrical triangle, right? I mean, that is a symmetrical. They mainly break to the downside, coincide with the lower trend line somewhere down to like 65. Let's take a look at what Bookmap is showing. Bookmap shows you kind of where liquidity lies. So look, it's got some liquidity at 67, 65. Either way, really, it could go either way today. Monday's split. A little darker at 67, slightly. So there's a chance we do bounce to 67K, right? There's just, you know, not saying it's for sure, but there's a chance, right? Exactly. Buy the fear and sell the good. You do whatever makes you happy, man. Yeah. And I do have pants on. How dare you? I've got kids that come and help me, and I need them. You know, I would never stream without pants, man. Okay. I never wear socks. Okay. I always have bare feet on the stream. Always. No cursing, my guy. I know, right? I don't want to learn how to use liquidity tools. What is the Bookmap website, sir? Just hit the link below my description of my videos, and it will take you there. I do get a commission if you sign up to Bookmap. I greatly appreciate that. All right. So you're telling me there's a chance. There is a slight chance, but the 1 hour doesn't look amazing right now. 1 minute doesn't look amazing. Looks like it's going to dump. I mean, look, it even looks, there's a double top here. That's cat ears, man. Meow. That's a little bit of a cat ears right there. Right? That's cat ears, man. There it is. Roaring its ugly head. Cats are cute, man. They really are. You know, when you go and you look at lions and tigers and stuff, and then you look at a little cat, it's so fascinating. It's like a mini lion. It looks just like it. So it's like, wow. You know what I mean? Something about that. Like, you know, some cats have patterns. They almost look like a mini lion, right? Interesting. I like calico kitties, all that stuff. You know, I'm allergic to cats, so I can't have cats. But if I did, I would have a cat. They seem like they're like ancient animals. The Egyptian people loved them, right? They thought they were like super special. Some people think they're evil. I don't know. What do you guys think? Are cats evil? Let's just, this is just so interesting. What does everybody think about cats? I never asked this on the channel. I'm polarizing. Yeah. And so you see how Bitcoin's like shoulder, shoulder, head, shoulder, shoulder. It looks bearish to me. Looks like it's coming back down to 65.5 for now. I mean, that looks like a head and shoulder pattern, no? Kind of a descender too, right? Like here you have this, and then you can flatten this out. It's the descending triangle yet again. 21 below the 200. So look, when you trade this bullishly, the 21 above the 200 to the upside. So you traded bearishly, you understand? Same strategy that I just used to make the money this weekend, right? Same exact stuff. No change, no difference. Love cats, they're independent, okay? Cats are cool. Best creatures in the game. I love cats, love cats. Cat is all about the energy. Cheetahs. Cats are the shizzle. I think cats are really cool. I wish I had a cat. My Cali cat is so smart, so he's got a cat. No cats in the house. Crypto Billy. No cats over here. Only dogs, right? Yeah. Negative for me. I'm a dog mom. Amen. I was a dog guy. I grew up with dogs. Yeah. Late to the stream. Was supposed to go to Cancun and give her the recent events in Mexico. I'm smart. Smart for you, bro. Very smart of you to cancel your trip. Very smart. Come down to Florida, man. Just switch that flight to Florida. Come on down. Enjoy the white beaches of Sarasota. It'll be 83 next weekend. We're having a little bit of a cold front just for 3 days here, but it'll be back to the 80s. You can hit the beach almost every day. It's a beautiful state, huh? And you don't have to worry about, getting chased down by, a cartel, hopefully. I haven't seen that around. It's been pretty chill down here. Wow, so shoulder, shoulder, head, shoulder, shoulder. Just, again, that Monday back and forth nonsense here for Bitcoin. However, on the bigger picture, that is a bearish retest. Right? So you're basically looking for the 50-minute. That's the time frame that can give us the most information. That'll make the most sense. 15-minute and the 1 minute really are giving us good data. 1 minute looks like it's going to continue to collapse. That's a descending triangle that just bearishly retested the bottom of the trend. And it wants to go lower, right? I'd basically take the base here. And take out that new low, go to 61,000, right? So that just looks likely to me. Maybe I'm wrong, and price action has been absolutely insane. It's been back and forth. But, yeah, I see the trend line as an upward trend line, and I see that as a bearish retest. You try to get, we sold it perfectly. I sold it right there at 5 in the morning. Right here. I sent it to my group. I said, we're too far for the 21. I'm out. Look at this. 5:36 a.m. Bang. Back to the 21. I was like, you know what? If I don't sell now, I'll go to sleep. I'll wake up at 8. And I was like, what if it, that Grady voice says, what if it goes higher, Sam? I said, my strategy was to buy the, and I can teach you something right now. I'd write this down. This is a great way to make gains. You watch the dump. It dumps hard. All right. A lot of people are sitting on the 1 minute, the 5 minute. They're trying to catch a falling knife. Yeah, it can happen. You simply wait for the 1 hour candle to close green. The second it does it, you watch like I'm showing you with the countdown to bar close. The second it closes, you wait for the first dip of the 1 hour. Second that thing dips, you get in. You put your stop below this wick, and you sell when you get back to the 21-day moving average. So simple, man. And you get into the bottom of the Stokes, and you sell when the Stokes are oversold. So your Stoke trading, your stochastics RSI trading, which is, I forgot, I also use the stochastics RSI like a legend. And look, the MACD was turning. You could see lack of bearish momentum as we started to curve back up. But again, RSI was very low. Okay. You look for divergence on if you can find it on the 15, the 1 hour, even the 5 minute, the 1 minute. So boom, tweezer bottom back to the 21. This is a simple strategy that anybody can implement. It's not that difficult. It's low risk because you're going to put your stop loss very close to your entry. Understand? Again, I'm not a financial advisor. Another guy saying you should be taking as financial advice. I'm for educational and entertainment purposes only here every single day. This is amazing, though. What I'm showing you, what I'm teaching you is magical. I did it. I did it in front of you all. I did it last night. I showed it to you. There's timestamps in my Discord. This is all recorded. Go to cryptolifer.com, man. And yes, I sell education. Yes, I have no problem with that. Yes, why? If you make so much money, Sam, why? Because why not make another stream of income? Amen. Right? Because why? Like, who wants no, you know what I mean? Why say no? Number two, I get so many great testimonials from what I do. Ever since I've been starting my trading group and doing it, like people write paragraphs like this guy. They feel really happy to be in the group. They feel enriched. They feel gratitude. They change their lives in many ways, not just through trading. Never met you, Sam, but I love you, brother. You taught me the rest. You taught me and the rest of us like a father. Your work ethic and showing up every day, grinding in this Discord pushed me to do the same in my life. You, your team, and this group rewired my brain for success. God is using you in more ways than you know. I even quit drinking and smoking weed. Lemon water cheers to you, brother. Know you are truly blessed to us all. I mean, that's just, what more do you want out of life, right? But to help somebody in life. You can make money, but to help somebody. So the Discord does this, all right? And you say, why not make it free then, Sam? Because when I did have it at a low volume, a low price, everybody and anyone gets in, and there's just, people disrespect things that are free. I'm sorry to say. There's got to be a price to get in. And that makes everybody respect and love each other in there. And again, you're like, yeah, you get the money. Of course, I'm the business guy. But it's a good business, man. It works well. I work, and I'm there every single day. We don't stop. So if you want to be a part of something bigger than yourself, you want to learn every single day, you want to have work ethic like you've never had before, you want to compare yourself to a top of the line, constant grinder, jump on into the trading group. Go to cryptolifer.com. I think it's more than a trading group. It's a mind group, man. It's a lifestyle. It'll change the way you look at the world. It'll change the way you think about everything. I really believe this. Every day, my group changes the way I look at myself, and I learn something from each and every one of you every single day. I really do. Like, it's been an amazing journey to run a trading group. Like, one of the greatest experiences of my entire life. You know, I hope so, right? It's my whole life, but it's been amazing. You know, you can hit subscribe, $99, $270, or your annual, and like you would have found out how to short and long last night. Woke up with a huge smile on a Monday morning. Not to say everyone would have made the gains exactly like I did, right? But you would have learned a lot and eventually equipped yourself with a skill and an education that can last a lifetime, and you could trade any asset in the world, not just Bitcoin. You're going to be able to move this information that I teach you into anything. The 21 will become your guide. You'll understand how it works so well. Look at that, away back to the 21. Right? And honestly, when you really look at that, like if I was looking at that bullishly, I'd be looking for something like this now. I'd be looking for this to kind of consolidate like this and likely continue. So that's what I see happening here, you know. And maybe I'm wrong. I could be horribly wrong, and this might make a beautiful flag and break back to the upside. I can see how it possibly could. You see, I'm open-minded. I look at it both ways, but like just, I don't know, it looks bearish to me. Shoulder head, right, kind of like a slanted head and shoulder pattern. Almost looks like that you could put this in another descender like this, see? Maybe it comes down for a giant double bottom on the POC. The point of control is this red line on the VRVP. VRVP shows you where buying and selling is collected. Okay? Very beautiful indicator. When you get down to a low volume area on the VRVP and you get to the oversold region of the stochastics and the RSI, it tells you you're likely going to get some type of bottom as well, right? Again, you could get rid of all these indicators and just buy when the green candle closes next to a red one, because that's it. There's nothing else. Every reversal in the history of the world, and again, it doesn't mean this one was there, but that was a very weak candle with a very strong wick down. That's not a strong reversal candle. This is, you know, you'd like it to be bullish engulfing, but it's strong green. Right there, green, you know, same size. This one's bigger, which means it's called a bullish engulfing. You can put this one inside of that candle. Good chance you get the move. Here's another one, a bullish engulfing candle on the 15. You can put this candle inside of that candle. You get the move. Here's another one, a bullish engulfing. You can put this candle inside of that candle. And it doesn't even have to be a bullish engulfing, which I found. It just has to be a green candle of substantial size without too much downward wick. And then here, look, it didn't play out. Look at that horrible wick there. Here, it didn't play out, horrible wick. And again, now you have divergence. You got to start paying attention, and support or resistance too as well. The key to trading is knowing a lot of different things and knowing when one thing turns on and off. Like support or resistance takes precedence over this. Or when the MACD looks like this, I do that, right? That's the key, really, when it comes to trading, is like really just positioning yourself in the highest probability areas that make sense. So look, I'm looking for Bitcoin to bounce here, get tight, get rejected, and then just kind of break down. Possibly come for a giant double bottom, right? But at least come back down to 64.4. We'll turn that 5 into a 4, right? So I am bearish on Bitcoin as we speak. I'm actually going to do another thing here. If I hit control and raise this up, you can see it kind of already is a descender that gave up on you. It's already a descending triangle that dumped. A double top that said no. See, 1, 2. And you may not see it as clear as I do. I'm sure it's not as simple to everybody else. And the crazy thing about this is the 1 minute reverses, we get above this and it hits it. You'd be like, wow, he's long now. He just said it was bearish. Because I don't know what's going to happen. I know nothing but the fact of my own ignorance. I have no idea what Bitcoin's going to do. I want to make that very clear. Not a clue. I don't know. You see what I mean? I don't know. I just trade probabilities. Right? Like this could, what if, you never know. Like it's unlikely, but what if just in the next 2 minutes, it just rips all the way back to the upside? Well, I would wait for it to flag out, touch the 21, and I would just trade it as such. I wouldn't chase the random move, you know. But I'm calling for a dump. I've been spot on the last few days. I don't know if it's just this new little glass alligator that I got, but this thing has got me honed in, man. Allie the alligator, bro. There he is. Honed in, man. Given to me by my sister's stepson. Super cool. Amazing. So there's the dump. And I could see it. Look, there was a head and shoulder pattern right there. I mean, you could see it clear as day. I felt it was a complex head and shoulder pattern. It barely retested that neckline. 65,350 for Bitcoin. Right? Seems like a dumpity dump to me. Yeah. Where have you surfed before? Just Martha's Vineyard, Santa Monica. Yeah. My sister used to live off Venice Beach. I'm not I'm not trying to claim I'm like the greatest surfer on earth, but yeah, I skateboarded as a kid. Started when I was like, I don't know, 11, and I skateboarded till I was like 18. Did it on and off. Once I moved to New York City, I don't know, I didn't do it as much. You can really hurt your ankle, and you know, as you get older, you just don't want to be like, you don't want to be sitting, your ankle gets torn up. You get injured a lot, sir. Look, there's a descending triangle right there. The 21 below the 200 moving average. You see? Same. Look, there it is right there. I couldn't see. See, it looks so perfectly the other way. Makes so much sense when you see it upside down, right? You're like, that's why I've taught my students to hit Apple I. And like almost every day, you're going to see me flipping the chart upside down. Because like this is a clear long that would look beautiful, right? You can see the shoulder, head, right shoulder. You can see it. I found it. Again, I sit here for 2 hours looking for any possible move. We find it together, folks. You know, the reason why it spilled on me, because the collagen's floating at the top. And so, like, the liquid went around it in a funny way. You get what I mean? It wasn't my fault. I'm telling you. I'm not like, I don't like spill on myself like that. I'm better than that. It's getting spicy in here with the I'm going to raise the, not the heat. Oh, no heat. We're going to raise the vent, though. We're going to vent. Yeah, we're going to vent it up. Oil and MyX are the super chats as Bitcoin tumbles to the downside lower, and that's kind of what we saw happening. Looks like a bearish retest on the daily for more downside. Why are you not in, Sammy? Why are you jumping on in? I did really well. And I don't trade Mondays, right? So, like, watch me go against my strategy, and then something will happen. You know what I mean? I guess I got the heebie-jeebies right now about trading Mondays.
But I was spot on, and I did see it pretty nicely. Again, I don't have to trade. I see it all the time, every day. I see it really well. I don't have to trade it every time I see it. Think about it. I mean, you get, spoiled. But you can't say I didn't see this before it happened, and I didn't tell you it looked like a complex head and shoulder that was going to break to the downside. I even have a measured move here down to 64.9. So, I entertained the long, but I could see that it wasn't likely. And we sold the top this morning. I sold the top this morning, man. Amazing. Unreal. Shout out to everyone in my group that got busy with me. Yeah, we sold 66, 268, man. Unreal. And I woke up at 5 a.m. to do it, man. It wasn't easy. I had to crutch my way out. I woke up, I was like, man, I got to get on my crutches and crutch my way onto that computer. My wife's probably like, what is he doing crutching off his leg? Whenever I'm off my leg, my wife gets so I told you to keep your leg up, she says. She's on me because she doesn't want to see it not heal right. She doesn't want to see me go through any more pain. And she knows I'm a moron. I don't want to say that, but you know what I mean? I'm like a stubborn guy. Like, last night, like, a chair the battery wasn't there, and I was telling the kids, where's the battery? We're going to look for this battery all night. You know what I mean? I was out of my mind, man. Like, and I found out I ordered the chair without it. So I let my daughter and my sister's stepson put the chair together, right? And they had stuff everywhere, and then they said, oh, I was like, where's the battery? They said, oh, we had it, but we put it aside. We'll get it when we get home. And I'm like, okay, like, whatever. Like, possible inverted head and shoulder here. See, I'm always open-minded. Is there good bullish div? Nah, not that strong. It's 30-second bullish divergence here. It's not that strong, though. So anyway, then I'm like, where's the battery, kids? Like, and they're like, we don't know. We didn't see a battery. And I'm like, and there's trash everywhere. And like, they were running around all day. So I'm like, oh, God, like, the battery's misplaced now. So I was like, all right, we're going to go through the trash until we find this battery, And I sat on this little midi table, and it slid out from underneath me, man. And I fell so hard on my butt, and then I slammed my leg on the ground. My bad leg. And I'm like, and my wife's like, I told you you're not supposed to be getting up. Get back on the couch and put your leg up. I'm like, that's all I do all day. She's like, just 5 more days till they take the stitches out, and you're gonna be fine, but you just gotta listen to me. I'm like, all right, babe. My wife is amazing, but she's got the whip on me. I call her the foot police. We call her the foot police whenever my foot's hey, your foot's not up. I'm like, I'm trying to live a life, man. She's like, get back over there and put your foot up. Enough is enough. I'm like, all right. I love it secretly because it shows how much she cares, man. You know what I mean? And without her, I'd probably be doing something stupid, man. I don't know why I'm such a freaking man. Always check your trash, I know, right? For sure. No cussing either. It's a family show. Did I cuss? You talking to me? I don't think I was cussing. No, I think that, yeah. I hope I didn't cuss. I was getting nonchalant. This is False Move Monday. They're going to find out what they can do to you. Once the direction is pulled and placed, we'll go from there, right? Let's take a look at the CME, which soon will not have gaps ever again. Well, let's just take a look at it. I think it's important that we do. Thank you for saying that. She's like, yeah, she likes the CME. That was crazy. No, but seriously, so look, there was a gap here on the daily time frame. A big one. A biggins McGee's over here. A nice gap, right? And we ended up doing the dump this weekend after the futures open. And we covered the key areas, so everything's kind of clear here. But still a big gap up there at about 81,000. So we still got a gap to attend to on BTC. I would have sworn there was 2 gaps. Yeah, look, there's a gap up there too. That never got filled on the 4, but it's on the 4 hour. You can see it's a small gap, but it is a gap. I'm pretty sure, yeah, it's a gap. See it? That wick never hits a wick there. That's at about 93,000. Just putting it out there. No one's talking about it. No one mentioned it. See, this is a gap here, but it got filled, you see, because you came through it. But that was a nice gap that came back. And look, we were down and out down here. We were down and out down here. Never thought we'd feel, we came back and filled that gap. So will the gap get filled at 80K? You never know. It looks unlikely now, but you never know. There's, anything is possible. So because the daily looks bearish, the smaller time frame should basically get in line and continue to dump. That's just what I see happening. I could be wrong. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Let's jump on into the chat, see how y'all feeling. Bellico X in the house. John Sanks in the house. Vegas Claw in the house. My traders, man. People that love to trade. iAndy333. No way he hit that tiny gap, in my opinion, right? We may not. We will probably get those gaps on the way back up to highs in a few years. Exactly, right? Again, though, will the gaps actually be even... Will the other gaps even matter once there's no gappage at all? You get what I mean? Like, once there's 24/7, maybe the old gaps just... They kind of become minute. They disappear. They might not have any effect anymore. Just because there's no gapping at all, right? KITE AI, what we did is we wanted to see if it was going to stay... inside of its, basically if it was going to dump hard or consolidate sideways. Looks like it's taken the sideways approach so far. We don't know yet, though. We don't know. And it could have just ripped out of nowhere, maybe. But it's unlikely. The daily needs to catch up to the 21-day moving average. But it does look like there could be another leg. If it consolidates on the daily, I would trade this again. There's just nothing telling me that it's going to crash too hard just yet. It looks like it's just getting through, and it could go from 25 to 46 cents. And man, it was just like 8 cents. And it went all the way up to 27. It did a 4.5x, folks. This is crazy stuff still in this market. So if we keep our heads down, we keep paying attention, there's money out here. How big is that market cap, though? Let's take a look at what's happening around here. We have KITE. It was the last thing we were looking at. Really the hottest coin right now in alts. 440 unlocked, market cap 465. Interesting. Max supply 10 billion, total supply 10 billion, circulating supply 1.8. So only 20% of the supply is out. That means there will be unlocks. There will be some massive dumpage at one point. Someone got in earlier than you and will probably want to get theirs. Bitcoin taking a beat down to the downside as suggested. Further down here, descending triangle to the downside. Target is 64,857 for Bitcoin. Right? No, why they closing the gap? Gap fills like 80% within a year or two across all assets. Interesting. Yeah, well, they're not closing the gap. They're stopping CME trading. It's not going to be daily. It's going to be 24/7. And once they set that up 24/7, you see what I mean? There's just going to be continuation, and the gaps are just going to continue, right? So that is the idea. All right. I'm up so much on KITE, it's actually crazy. I'm so happy someone here is. Yeah. I was trading KITE 2 weeks ago, and you might be in the money then if you stayed in some of those positions. KITE may be trash. I think he's probably right. Like, I'm not into any of this stuff right now. And again, this is how I figured this out one day, and I'm not changing it. It's like so stone. It's so cold, whatever I call stone proof or whatever. It just, you get this right shoulder here. You get the head, you get another right shoulder. Okay, and it starts telling me that we could get this nice move further back to the upside, or you kind of dwindle back into a descender. I think it's likely we're going to continue to dump. But show us the money, show us the reversal pattern, we'll take it. You get it? See if there's anything else that's kind of worth looking at today, paying attention to. Pippin, back up 15%. Really, it's got volume, man. It's got $67 million in volume. I mean, I'm going to trade something with volume. That means when I get into a flag, the flag can pump. It's nothing wrong with that, right? Canton CC still holding that 15 high, 16 level midnight. It's getting a lot of good press recently. Only thing worth, like, someone's actually talking about working on. Charles put $200 million of his own money into it. That's what I've heard. I haven't verified that, but I've glossed through the X posts and I've seen that. So we got Justin Sun's coin up 8%. I don't know if he's in the news or something, but there you have it. And I don't use this fear and greed. I use the one on alternative.me. That's at a 5 right now. It's telling you these are the greatest prices for Bitcoin in the history of Bitcoin. I've seen 5 only one other time, and that was like a week ago. I believe we've hit 5 twice now in the last week. 7, 8, 9, 5. Yeah, there we hit 5 on February 12th. We're back there again just 10, 20 days later at the low point. So, again, I bought Bitcoin last night. I keep buying the dip, and I buy a substantial amount. I definitely am going to have more Bitcoin than, hopefully, than the average person at one point. So, and we'll go from there, right? So look at this. Shoulder, head, right shoulder for Bitcoin could be making a move back to the upside on this beautiful false move Monday. It does have the divergence now on the 1 minute time frame. What is divergence? What do you look for? Well, if you're looking to catch bottoms or, catch the best prices before you get a bigger move up, you want to look for a swing up on the RSI while price action swings down. And that's what we have right here. It's called bullish divergence. In bearish times, you'll just get rejected by the previous high, but in bullish times, you will get a reversal here. If you have enough volume back to the upside, you'll get a reversal. All right. Still waiting for turbo. Yeah. Lower high on the fear. Same fear and high price semi. Yeah. I took the long, short closed. Interesting. Yeah, I didn't trade. I closed my trade at 5 a.m. and I'm elated with the results in the last 24 hours, So I'll take it. You make it 3,500, and the other trade too, the gold trade on top of it, still ripping. So right now, if I took this trade up $4,700 in the day, almost a $5,000 day. You make $5,000 every day trading. It's going to be a dang good day, man. And I don't see this stopping. This is ripping. This has a measured move to the upside. Let's spend some time on gold. Let's do your super chats. Let's have some fun, man. Let's focus on the money, baby. Let's focus on the money. Shout out to the super chats. Let's jump on in. I was going to remember to change this to live chat. He said, Zebekin, let's take a look at Zebek Network. You might be on point there. In the repo market, doing some weird shifty stuff. The Fed pumping more money than it's ever pumped since COVID into the markets. They're printing money, man. The system is based on debt. They have to continue to print over and over again. It does not stop. It's a bit crazy if you think about it, right? Cats are only domesticated animal, not mentioned anywhere in the Bible. Interesting. I wonder why. Sam, God bless your day. Do you see MyX recovery? Seb, good morning. Can we take a look at oil? Looks interesting. Yeah, I've been talking about oil making a bigger move for a long time now. Look at that move back for Bitcoin. Let's take a look at oil futures. I mean, I see that breaking out. I've been looking at oil. What is this? Yeah. 473, no. You just do US oil, right? That's what I want. Crude. I want that crude, baby. That sludge. That thick sludge, baby. So look, very tight price action. 21 above the 200 was the entry. We got ricocheted up to the upside. I see 74 for this price, coming up. And you got resistance at 70,033. Resistance back up to this key area at 74.48. Yeah, I see a move up to 74.58 there for oil. I've been talking about it. I called it. I actually got stopped out. I was too tight to the bone there. I should have put my stop one below the daily 200. When the daily 200 candle closed even slightly, I should have front ran it. Again, I didn't watch it as closely like I watched Bitcoin. That was the way to enter it. A double bottom too right there, as you can see. Right, there's a double bottom hidden in there, which is crazy. But it's right there. TA is so beautiful, so amazing, so special. But I've been talking about oil moving to the upside now ever since it crossed the daily 200. That's a big sign for a big move for oil. Also, the dollar looks like it's falling to the downside. And if the dollar going to continue to collapse here, it's going to put oil back up in price, right? Which should raise inflation, because if oil goes up, then the price of goods will go up, right? And that will put pressure on the Fed again to cut the rates. You see what I mean? And they're going to say cut rates, cut rates. You have to understand we're going to get hyperinflation this time. Like, I don't see us getting out of it like we got in 2008. Like, they're going to print this dollar to zero, folks. I don't want to scare you, but there's going to be a new monetary system. They're going to move us into something different. They're already planning it. You can see it. It's going to be some type of global-backed cryptocurrency thing. They're going to try to the digital ID. They're quiet about CBDC right now because they want to get people warmed back up to crypto. So, and they noticed that was bad-winded. But wait for, Trump to get out of office again and move on. And once he comes on, the technocrats behind, who will move in and seek, the Peter Thiels, the Larry Ellisons, and they will seek to trap us inside of a digital prison. It's coming. I can see it. I can smell it. I can taste it. It is what it is. How do we fight it? How do we stop it? Do we go to our own islands? Do we get onto sailboats? And I don't know. Understand. I don't really have a chance exactly what to do. I have some thoughts that I keep to myself, and then they're peaceful, But the idea is just I don't know. We're experiencing a digital revolution too, a time when things are going to change. It's back to, remember when people had horse and buggy, then the car came out. Next thing you know, they had the driver's license, and they said to drive, you got to get a license. And people said, what? I got to tell the government where I live and put my actual address down? Before, they lived in people lived wherever they lived, right? Nobody had to know where you lived. So then Americans bowed and said, okay, we're going to put our address on a license. I don't know why they need your address on a license, right? There could be, I guess, I don't know. It's kind of like, you realize you're in a system immediately. And again, it's bells and whistles. We need checks and balances. We need to keep you safe. So we need all your information. So everyone, you know what I mean? But there was definitely a bit of a small little mini revolution there where people probably weren't into that. They weren't trying to give their information to the ID. Yeah, same thing's going to happen with this digital ID. They're going to kind of stronghold it, and we're going to see what happens. So the DXY looks worse as well, and that's just telling me. And look, we looked at tether dominance, and we went over this on Friday afternoon in the macro analysis video, and you can see, it looked like it was going to break out. And I said, be careful, man. If this pumps, that's a dump for Bitcoin right on the table there. And look, it's more like an inverted, like if Bitcoin is the head and shoulder. See, this is Bitcoin upside down. So there was a lot of indications that we were going to get a dump. On Friday, it told us to be careful, right? Let's take a look at the S&P and the NASDAQ for a split second here. Wow, nasty dump on the S&P today. Unexpected. I expected it to continue up. Shredding the longs right there. Like, could it be a bigger consolidative move here like this? They're just going to respect this trend line. I still see us consolidating. It looks tough right now, but I see us consolidating. I don't see how, if they print more money, the S&P doesn't go up. Why a massive sell-off on the morning? Oh, yeah, I forgot. We got, it's Mexico. It's all that, yeah. So just fear-induced sell-off. Usually that comes back the next day. You know what I mean? Oh, Mexico, oh, this, oh, Iran, all this nonsense. Usually that comes back the next day. Don't get overwhelmed in the news. Go out for a walk. Take a deep breath. They're trying to get everybody's state of mind really out of control here. Okay? Okay, so yeah, there's a bounce there. I see again, it looks shady, right? It looks weird, but it's still a higher low. Looks like a manufactured sell-off, man, Same thing with the NASDAQ. I see it still pumping, but I could be wrong. It's kind of shoulder, shoulder, head, shoulder, shoulder there. You see that? It's kind of a slanted head and shoulder. Could this be when they start to bankrupt the S&P and that, and then the whole thing comes down, right? Bitcoin just is front running the idea. The cool thing about that is that's why when Bitcoin hits a bottom before everything else, Bitcoin will start to pump back out. These assets will keep going down and people will be like, oh no, right? It's got to be a time where you realize you should have bought Bitcoin and you're going to kick. I have such a strong feeling about it. And again, it is a feeling. It's an intuition. There's no TA based on it. I mean, there's some ideas. There's the power law. There's the halving. There's actually, there's logic based on it. Like it's supply and demand. That looks a little sketchy. I have to be honest. I see a head and shoulder there. But we tapped near the 200 moving average tight. Usually, yeah. I'm still sticking to my guns. Tomorrow will be a green day for the NASDAQ. Could be a nice little get up here. But hey, I could be wrong. There is some mixed signals there. There's the right shoulder, just as we asked for it. Look how beautiful that is. So that's supposed to go up 68% of the time. You're supposed to just be able to buy this right now with a stop below this shoulder, and you're supposed to win the trade basically 3 out of 4 times. That's what this indicator says. That's why we do TA. I'd love for it to play out right now so people can be like, wow, it really does work. Technical analysis is the shizzles. And remember what I also teach you. An inverted head and shoulder is nothing more than an ascending triangle. And you'd be like, what? Yes, because it is the higher low with the flat top. There it is. It's so special. So you either, sometimes I used to see one way, the other way, and then one day I saw it both, and I said, oh my gosh, there's 2 patterns in one here. So remember, when we were right here, we started drawing this out. This is called quantum projection theory. You're projecting what could happen. So not only do I use these indicators, but I'm doing a live process of working with the trading, right? I'm working with the trades live, like, okay? I'm interacting with the charts. I'm swimming in the sea, if you know what I mean, right? I'm watching it as it happens. I'm learning, and I've learned this is by basically projecting and seeing and learning through projection. You just learn so much about the charts. Like, look, I can see this pumps up to the 200 moving average, to the point of control. There's a gap in the VRVP here now. So you can start to put this stuff together. Why are you not trading it, Sam? I just don't trade Mondays. Look at the false moves here. They faked it down. They'll fake it up. It'll be all over the place. But Sam, you saw the head and shoulder. You see the inverted. You seem to be calling it pretty well. You saw the bullish divergence on the 1. Agreed. But I like practice more than pleasure. Okay? If that makes any sense. And yeah. So, and again, like I told you, I made dang near, I'm up almost $5,000 today. Granted, this is continuing to move. 1,300, 32% on BTCC. Shout out to my peoples who jumped into BTCC. Thank you so much. And when you trade gold and silver, you get hooked up. When you trade, it's amazing. You also can get underneath my lower fee tier, which is awesome. So jump on into BTCC today. Find out more. Change your life. Stop trading with everybody else that hasn't been in the game. I get respected by every exchange, baby. We the lifers, man. When you sign up with my link, you're signing up with the most respect in the game. No one's playing you. So let's see if this could continue. Again, I'd be looking for the 30-second for a bull flag, the 5-second for a bull flag. You see? Look at that. It bounced off the 21, just like you learn on the 1 hour. Everything I teach is true on every time frame. This was the first thing that hurt when I first learned this, because I was like, what do you mean? You see, look at that beautiful bull flag to the upside. That's how the 1 hour trades. That's how the daily trades. That's how the weekly trades. Low stochastic, 21 touching. Learn. Write it down. Write it down. 1 minute, the 5-second, 30-second, 15, 1 minute, 1 hour, daily, 2-day, 3-day, 5-day, 2-week. It doesn't matter, folks. This is the gerbil wheel. This is the spinning algorithm that controls the markets. You know what I'm saying? And this is the most important thing that you want to pay attention to. Okay. Little bear div here too for Bitcoin. You can see, what is bearish divergence? Well, the RSI is swinging down while price is swinging up. Yes, it'll happen immediately on the 5-second, but you'll have time on the 1 hour and the 15 and the 1 minute even to be more advanced on the placement. All right. Now, I wouldn't get into that exact smaller time frame, right? You're back to the 1 hour. Nothing has really changed, right? So let's zoom out. I teach you a lot. This gets absorbed throughout the day. Like in a month, you're going to be like, oh my gosh. What I'm doing is I'm throttling your subconscious mind right now with information. Some of you might be inundated with it. It might be like, it's a little much. Understand? That's okay. It's okay. You're going to be okay. Just keep taking in the information. Just let it pour in. You know, make sure you're in a good state. Make sure you're in a calm area. Have a nice cup of tea. You know what I mean? Just like set the setting for learning. And let this information seep into your subconscious mind. Over time, it'll all make sense. So now we're just, I mean, nice wick here. We're looking to see if the 1 hour can close a green candle next to a red one. The 15-minute did it and got a nice reversal. Look at that. It was crazy, right? Still doesn't look good to me. Price action is wacky right now. Keep seeing this kind of thing here. That to me is a bear flag further down. Chance it was a shoulder, head, shoulder. I don't see it as much anymore as I saw it before. All right. Wow, this chair just, I love it. The massager comes on just like randomly to kind of just let you know it loves you. It's like, I'm just loving on you, man. I'm like, thank you. Thank you so much. And it's fun, right? Like, you got stuff to do. No, I want Smart Track. I want Smart Track, baby. Let's go. Man, my wife's cooking something. It smells so dang good out here. I don't know what she's cooking, but the whole house smells amazing. So that looks tight to me, and it looks like we're going to dump. And the daily looks like a bearish retest. So right now I'm calling dumpage unless, you know, it could turn into this. I got two ideas in my mind. So here, if we bounce and we get tight, and it ends up being like 6 o'clock right here, 18, you know, I take a long. Back to this gap up and thinking to take a profit somewhere into this area, right? If it goes sideways and we stay down here, I take a short. Maybe I don't know. It looks like it could be 3 o'clock though. So that's how I would play Bitcoin today. And I might not even trade it till 8 p.m. like I usually do. And keep my rules, you know? So let's get the likes up to the watchers. That would greatly appreciate it, everyone. If you like what you're seeing, if you like the teaching, if you're just, you know, you're bettering yourself right now. You're getting an education for free. You're on a YouTube channel getting an education for free. YouTube is the greatest place for free education. I learned so much on YouTube, it changed my life. They taught me about all the different things that were going on behind the scenes too. Things that people talk about now, YouTube taught me all that stuff, man. And they told me what was happening, right? So it's important, you know. 67.57 is a gap here. I see more, I see sideways action and more dumpage. Or just more dumpage. If I had to call it today, folks. I just wanted to make it clear because you do a lot and then you got to like look back and see what it is, you know? Most popular coins in the game right now. Space coin, Punch. Everyone was crying about Punch. I didn't care about it. I didn't pay attention. I'm smart. No, I'm just joking around, but seriously. Plasma, Optimism, Sentient, Egan Cloud, Egan Layer back in there. Kite AI a little bit, you know, interesting. Oh, and I got to get that. Yeah, that. I want to keep that vent on, man. The vent turns off. There it goes. Vent is nice. Like, that's like the most thing I like the most. Maybe we want to back off the... There we go. Back off. It's got a good lumbar support, but you don't want it, like, rocking. It still shoots like kind of, not a sciatica kind of thing, but it goes down my hip. And my leg is just, it's not easy, man. Streaming is difficult, but hey, it is what it is, right? Kite AI sitting there too, but you know, not much to go, you know, to write home about. Space was a coin that actually looked good to me and it fell out the flag, right? DCR, only other coin that I really liked. We'll take a look at MyX for you too as well here. And the super chats that were asked. It's the only coin that I really like right now, and it hit the alert today. And look, it actually bounced out the flag. It's tight. It looks like it's going to break out. It's above the 21. It's above the 200. It's back in the pattern. Like it's doing its own thing compared to Bitcoin. So I don't know what's happening here. I don't, I believe it is DeFi. I remember Decred. And we'll spend some time on it for a second there. 261 to risk reward ratio, technically, could be better. But man, if anything could rip, that's the only coin, not the only coin, but right now, and I don't hold it. I don't hold any. I'm not even in the trade. I'm not pickpocketing a coin because I'm in it. I don't do that stuff. I think that's weird. You guys are my love. I believe God is watching me with my community every day, and that's why my community has been thriving for so long. And by combining battle-tested proof of work with innovative take on proof of stake, that places coin holders in charge of shaping the future. Decred is able to adapt challenges and innovate. Okay. It represents a significant evolution of the cryptocurrency space, emphasizing a blend of security, user empowerment, and adaptability. It stands out due to its innovative consensus mechanism that combines proof of work and proof of stake. At its core, it's built within the aim of achieving a decentralized governance structure that's realized through... It's funny, what is it? I love this, right? Atomic swaps feature that allows trustless exchange of cryptocurrencies between different blockchains. It's not only enhances it, so that's cool. I mean, Decred does a lot of... It's a swap. I thought it was just like a DeFi... Let me take a look at it. Yeah, layer 1 down, blah, blah, blah. Wallets, exchanges... is a cryptocurrency designed to upgrade and evolve over time based on the input of its coin holders. Seems like it's a real thing too, So they have the DCR DEX. Trade crypto peer-to-peer. Interesting. Download the DCR DEX client. That's interesting. So it is a DEX, right? And you can do a bunch of different things with it. 65,600 for Bitcoin. Is it getting a bounce here? Let's take a look right on the smaller time frame. BTC USDT. Dear Lord, help me through the pain. It is not fun. It is tough. Amen. So what happened to that inverted? See, it did a fake out break. It's not going to give it. See, Mondays are going to be, they're going to go, oh, don't. Looks like it faked out, but it could still break out. Remember, the stop loss would be below the flag. Again, I'm just seeing if I had played it. That's why I like using this tool. It kind of shows you the trade if you had made the trade. Doesn't mean you have to do the trade, right? Even said to myself, man, Sam, I trade like 7 days a week. It's good to take a couple days off every week. Or at least an afternoon, you know what I mean? I'm like, I trade pretty heavily. Tight moving averages get that pump to the 200. Could just roll over as a bearish retest too, Like I could see it kind of like this. Remember, I'm watching it in real time. It's like playing chess with a chess player. You're just trying to look at the guy across from you, and you're like, or a girl, whatever, the person you're playing. What are they going to do? I don't tell myself what someone's going to do when I'm in battle. I'm in the midst of figuring it out every moment, right? Again, I didn't open up a long. I want to make that clear. Looks like it could. I see it either way again on that mixed martial arts Monday. But I give it its respect. If it goes like this, I mean, we're going down, right? If it gets back inside, maybe. Today's a mess, really. It is and it isn't. And Bookmap also suggesting either side could win here. It's got a little darker up there above us, though. Just a little. Let's take a look at MyX and see what's happening to MyX. I remember MyX did this. Someone put it out to our trading group when it was like $1, and then it went on like a massive 18x, right? Wow, look at that thing. Dude, it doesn't matter what it is. This is so sad for crypto. Well, look, that's a descending triangle, man. Those things love to dump. Remember, just stick to my strategies. You're above the 200, touching the 21 inside the flag. You're going to go the length of the pole. Wow, they've dumped it to 56 cents though. Wow. Wow, like it looks like a rug, bro. Look at that. I didn't trade that. We were just looking at it, put an alert there, see if it hits, and it dolphin dipped, went back inside again. Never made it to the target. Look at that, just, my gosh. This is the issue too, is a lot of people are seeing this in altcoins, and every time they see this, it's another person that just says, you know what, I'm done with these alts. You know what I mean? But that's a sell-off to like, to me, it's like the people who had inside, who knows? I don't want to say, I don't know what happened. I don't. But you know what I'm like? Usually means whoever got in early is getting out as fast as they can. Like, could it go to negative 31 cents? Obviously not, but I mean, dang, right? If you believe it, it'd probably be one of the greatest times to buy it ever, but dang, it's so far from the 21. Like, it will have to come back to the, wow, that's nuts though. Get back to where it began at 8 cents. Retesting the previous bottom. This thing was like a real project people thought about, like actually matter, you know, could at least sustain some, you know, oh, it's an exchange, $6. February 5th. 18 days later, it's in the absolute dumpieskis. That is absolutely crazy. Well, there's my X for you. I didn't expect to see that. Again, I'm happy I don't own a piece of that. And I told everyone, get out of these, you know, altcoins are high risk right now. Again, you do whatever makes you happy. I'm not a financial advisor, but I said, man, I'm out of all these altcoins. These are high risk positions to be in. I'm not doing this anymore. And I told you, I said, I think I'm going to buy a Lambo. I think I'm going to sell my altcoins and buy a Lambo. I'm done. I'm not doing this anymore. I'm going to do something that makes me happy, man, and not play games anymore, right? Look at XAUUSD just absolutely doing damage. Gold, baby, gold. And headed to my target there at $5,500 an ounce. And we put our money where my mouth is on the gold trade. We are ripping up $1,246, 31%. And we made $1,200 off $4,000. You know what I mean? The S&P won't get you, you know, 31% returns. Again, it is one trade. It's high risk. I get it. How did we do it? What leverage are we using? 20x leverage. We are cross with a $41,000 account behind us. We didn't use any. We used $4,000 of the 41,000. You see? I teach people you don't have to use the whole account to make money. All right? You don't have to use the whole account to make money. And then what you do here is you go scroll down and you see this. We risked $3,000. I was down $2,500 in this trade at one point. Just want to make people understand that. Right? Should be able to cancel this order. Yes. And there we go there. And now we just put it in so you cover the fees, basically. And you can't lose any money on the trade. So now it's a locked-in trade. You try to find these really good entries that take time to really find. Once you find them, you can then lock in. It's more likely you can put a stop loss above break even. The key is to do this as much as you can and take advantage of the market. It's like having free slips to bet. Like say you had a friend that owned a betting, you know, a horse racing place, and he would give you free bets randomly. Hey, here's some free vouchers for betting, and he would hand them you a you know, and you can go over and they were a free bet, and you just hand them the voucher and you know, and you a voucher and got a free bet. So the idea behind that is, you know, you could take shots at the races and not risk anything, right? I want to make my trades feel like that in a way. So I want to get in at the perfect time, wait it out. Once I get a substantial move, feels like I'm really far away from my entry, I want to slide that thing. And again, maybe they come down and dump it and I only make $95. And I break even on fees. And that's fine with me. I don't lose anything. I still got my capital. It's like taking a real estate deal and not losing any money and keep taking deals until one hits. You know what I mean? There is a safer, lower risk way to trade, but everyone wants to be a big shot and they want to trade big. To trade big, your stop loss has to be so close to entry, and to get really big money, you got to have really either high money or high leverage. You can't, you know, and you're going to put yourself in harm's way for a massive loss. I'm willing to take small losses and wait for bigger wins by being really patient. And sometimes it doesn't always prevail. It's not the sexiest way to trade. But man, who's up at the end of the day? Who still has money at the end of the day? Who's driving? You know, who's whipping it at the end of the day? I'm just saying. You know what I mean? Stay humble, stay humble, stay humble, stay humble, stay humble. So Bitcoin looks like it's taken the road to the downside yet again. I'm just keep saying I'm more convinced we're dumping than going anywhere else, right? Now I'm seeing a bearish retest again of this. Look, bounce, resistance, resistance. You're just making smaller support or resistance dumps. Look, there's a nice dump down there. That was a nice one. And look, it was a slanted head and shoulder, but you could see it technically. And it was a descending triangle now when you look at it. But there's a head and shoulder right there. And this kind of was descender, see? It's all there. Like, you could learn how to trade the weekly, which the 1 minute. You can learn how to trade the 1 minute with the weekly. Take way longer. The weekly will take years to show you what you need to see. That's why the 1 minute will sharpen your tools, sharpen your skills, and just, I believe, make you a better trader. Even if you just kind of observe it and you demo trade it, and then you use what you learned as a demo trader further on. Making sure I don't have another button missing, you know. You never know over here. Hey. And shout out to everybody here. What a great live stream. I just feel like we got an attentive group of people. The chat's been amazing. The super chats have been fun. And I've just been really blessed to be here. So thank you so much, everyone. I'm greatly I'm floored right now. You know, I had my Achilles rupture 3 weeks ago and a few days now, and I couldn't walk. You know, that night I couldn't walk. I had to humble around the house. Then I went to a doctor and they said, we're going to have to do surgery on you to repair. And after that, we don't want you putting your foot down for 6 weeks, you know? And I said, dang, man, that's crazy. Sam Price, the guy that loves to be active, run with his kids, chase butterflies, go fishing with his buddy. Like, I'm just out there all the time as much as I can. I'm on the beach. I'm swimming. I'm working on the house. I'm just doing stuff. And I'm not going to be able to put any weight on my foot for that long. And that was a hard pill to swallow, right? And it was like, and there's no like, what do you mean? Like, there's no arguments there. It's like the doctor says that's it. Like, if you want to heal, you heal. And so then I got the surgery 2 weeks later. I had to wait 2 weeks and wonder what that was going to be like. The surgery was easy. I don't want to say easy, but I went in. They gave me the IV. They were super nice nurse. Everything was all sweet and lovely. And next thing you know, I woke up and I thought I had just like shifted the sheets. And I was like, okay, when are we going in for the thing? And they were like, well, you're all set. They're like, go on for the thing. You're all done. And I was like, I'm done? They're like, yeah, you're all done. I was like, and I've been in a cast ever since, sitting here with my thoughts in so much time. I haven't been outside. I haven't driven my car. I haven't gone on an errand. I can't take out the trash. My wife has done everything in the house. I sit here strapped, staring at the window. No, but seriously, it's been a mind-blowing. So I'm watching the charts, and the charts are dumping, right? And in my mind, I'm like, I'm in my own head with the way my foot is like. Even right now, I'm getting pain kind of up my leg into my back, and it's fun. I'm not complaining, man. I'm so blessed I have this live stream, and I like that I got to fight for this live stream, you know? I like that it's hard right now. I like that it's not easy. I like I like a grit, man. I want my path to be hard. Most people don't want to follow my path, man. I want it to be tough, right? So I desire a tough road, man. No one wants it to be easy. No one wants to write a book about a guy that pressed the button and the live stream went perfect every day. They want to hear about the struggles. My mom died. My dad died. I got a ruptured Achilles. I kept pushing. That's inspiring, right? No one wants to hear, oh, it was simple. I just showed up every day. There was no obstacles. Nobody wants to read that book, man. Nobody. All right, we want to read the book about the struggle. We want to read a book about the pain. We want to read a book about the hero that gets above all the obstacles, that wins, baby. The brave hearts, right? That's why we like the movie Braveheart. That's why we like the unsung here. Everybody loves that. Everybody's rooting for Braveheart in that movie, man. Let's go. Enough with the English taking over. They could take our lives, but they'll never take our freedom, baby. Let's go. I feel that way about crypto. I feel that way about America. You can take our lives, but you'll never take our freedom, man. You can try to circumvent it from the underneath, which is, I see it happening. I see what's happening now. It's all been downloaded to me. The good Lord has taught me what's going on, and I think it also helped. I've been sitting here with time on my hands to put things together with my leg, and I've been able to kind of see things that I didn't see before. No bull div here. I thought that was a strong bull divergence. It was not on the 1 minute time frame. Looks like we're getting tighter and going lower, folks. 64.8. Tough times are always a level up. Yeah. Pepito is 61%. I don't know about it, but it's on CoinGecko. Thank you. Sometimes God will have you sit down for a minute. Everything is by design. Nothing you're going through is a surprise to him. Amen. Thank you. Amen. Shout out to Crypto Billy. Shout out to Sam. Are you the here every day? You're a real warrior. God bless you, man. Thank you. I love the fact that I show up every day for years now. No one's done it in the whole industry, man. Let's go, man. We've done something that is almost seems impossible, to never take a day off. And I tell everyone, this is my 5-year anniversary. Like today, it was like 2021, February. And it was around this time, around the 19th, the 18th, that I started going live every day. So I know for sure now we've crossed into the 5-year. Today is like yesterday or today is. I've been doing this for 5 years, folks. Without a day off, man. 5 years of my beautiful life. 1/20th if I lived to 100 years old. Like, I gave 1/20th of my life away, man. And I loved every single moment of it. I would not change a thing. I'm so grateful. I still can't believe it. I can't believe what God gave me. I cannot believe, but I worked hard for it. I didn't take no for an answer. I kept pushing no matter what. My mom died, my dad died. I never gave up. I believed in God. I created a relationship with the higher power, man, a being bigger than me. And he told me, Sam, that you could do anything with me. I got your back, Sam. You have no worries, no fears, nothing can hurt you anymore, Sam. For I am with you. I said, really? I said, yes, man. We can walk through the shadow of the valley of death, man. And you will come out okay on the other side. For I am your Lord, I am your Savior. And you have nothing to fear. Fear is for the non-believers, folks. I feel bad for people who live in fear, for they don't believe. Because if you truly believed, there would be no fear. And I know the people that believe know exactly what I'm saying, right? It's strong, it's powerful, and it means a lot to me. It's my life, folks. So look, this is a shoulder, head and shoulder about to dump on you again. You see it? Right there, it's about to take a dump. I see us rolling over again for more downside for Bitcoin to 64,800, right? You can't blame Jesus for the great trading. You're funny. I love you. Oh, man. Shout out to Matt, man. Matt, we love you, man. I know you're just trying to find your truth in this world, and we love you for that. I have no problems with questions. What? Oh, man. I wish I didn't do that. Okay, that's great. Yeah. Yeah, I'll just end my show and get my hair cut. Yeah. My wife ordered me a guy to come cut my hair. He's here right now. And I don't want to be rude. He's got a life, and I love to respect people's time. So I'm going to go get my hair cut at home. God bless my wife for doing this for me. I'm super blessed. So sorry about that. I just got to make sure I mute the mic there. But I just wanted to say, man, thank you for 5 years, everybody. 5 years, man. This week will mark my 5-year anniversary. I don't believe it. I don't think it's real. Pinch me, I'm dreaming. Like, I never fit in. I felt like I never really was fully understood. I never understood really what my purpose was. And like, now I know, man. I know what I'm here for. I know who I am. And I know what I'm here to do. You know, and it's such a good feeling, you know. And as long as I'm speaking the love and creating positivity through the world and spreading education, I know I'm doing what I got to do with myself. So everyone, I see a short here. I'm going to leave you with this last idea. Like, I think stop loss somewhere above 65.5. And that thing may be able to cook. And it's not a 3-to-1, but, and I could be wrong. Maybe they reverse it, but I see a dump at least down to 64.750. And then we'll reconvene from there. When I'm done with my haircut, I'll pick up from there. Everybody, thank you so much for being here. Please comment, like, and subscribe. Hit the bell for notifications. You can find out when I post my next video. Remember, if you came to the channel, thank you for being here. Shout out to the 1,000 beautiful souls still kicking it with me. And thank you so much for the likes. I appreciate you all. Thank you so much. I'll see you all tomorrow for another beautiful, God-given, amazing live stream full of opportunity, love, light, and positivity, baby. Thank you so much. I have no words to really express my true gratitude to each and every one of you. Without you, there is no show. Thank you for giving me your most special asset, which is your time, and dedicating it to the show. I'm so blessed. I'll see you all in the trading group. Go to cryptolifer.com if you want more. I'm there every single day. I love you all. Thank you. I'll see you tomorrow.